Not too long ago here on the channel, we made a video about pocket carrying a backup pistol. In that video, we showed the North American Arms 22 Magnum Sentinel that I was carrying as a pocket carry pistol for a little while. I think it's a pretty good option, but some of the comments in that video inspired me to get a little bigger. So today we're going to take a look at my new Smith & Wesson 442 Ultimate Carry 38 Special. It's a pretty neat little pistol. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's video. We're going to talk about backup pistols, pocket pistols, whatever nomenclature you prefer, and especially about this Smith & Wesson 442 Ultimate Carry version. This is from Lipsy's Distributors, a special cooperation they did with Smith & Wesson to create this pistol, and it's got some pretty cool features. We're going to talk about those, talk about what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and take it to the range, as I said, and see how well it performs in several different shooting styles. But first, as usual, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. Today's wisdom is from Proverbs chapter 24, verse 5, this time in the New King James Version. The wise are mightier than the strong, and those with knowledge grow stronger and stronger. And, of course, thanks to my friends at Excess Sights for making today's video possible. They're also one of the reasons I bought this pistol, and we'll talk about it later in a minute. But Excess Sights are literally the only sights that I trust my life to in any pistol that I carry. You've heard me say this before probably, but I was a paying customer for Excess Sights for literally years before. They reached out to me and said, hey, we know you like our stuff. We've seen you talk about it on video. Would you like us to maybe allow us to sponsor the channel? And I said, sure. I'm really happy to have them as a sponsor because they are literally a company whose products I trust my life to. So Excess Sights are 100% made in the USA. They are the fastest sight in any light. Depending upon when you're watching this video, if you're watching it when it comes out, you might can take advantage of a really, really big Black Friday sale they got going. If not, if you use the coupon code SOP15, you'll be glad you did. So anyway, thanks again to Excess Sights for making today's video possible. Now, instead of me rambling on here, I thought I'd bring you down to the old tabletop here, so to speak. We'll talk about a little bit about this pistol, show you some of the features, some of the things that make it different than some other J-frames, and then we'll take it to the range and see how well it actually performs in the real world, so to speak. So let's do that right now. You want to? Okay, so here is the Smith & Wesson 442 UC. Stands for Ultimate Carry, and it's a J-frame, 5-round cylinder here, and as you can see, it's unloaded. So this is a 38 Special caliber version. They also have a version in 32 H&R Magnum, which holds 6 rounds. J-frames, if you're familiar with them, started way back in like 1950, so they've been around for a while. This particular style is. So I know a lot of people who have told me over the past that they carried a J-frame for a backup pistol, so that's not bad, including Clint Smith was one of them. So this is one of the air raid models, so it has an aluminum frame. This one is finished in matte black. It's also available in a stainless finish, which is the 642 UC. So let's talk about a couple of really great features on this thing that I think are cool. First of all, it features an Excess Sights. Look at that thing. It's just gleaming on camera already. It's a .140 diameter photoluminescent high-vis green dot with a tritium vial in the center. And compare that to a standard big dot that I like on most of my pistols. That's .188 inches, so it's just a little bit smaller than a big dot. And then it has a Smith & Wesson U-notch serrated adjustable rear sight. There's your sight picture. So the sights are set up on this thing for 10 to 15 yard zero with Spear 135 grain gold dot, short barrel loads, or 148 grain wad cutters. I was unable to find those particular ammo when I was doing the testing. I actually have some on order now, but Spear was out of stock on it. And so all the testing you're going to see is with different ammo, not the recommended ammo, but it did okay. It comes with VZ G10 grips, which are high horn, a little bit bigger than standard J-frame grips, so gives you a little more padding, not padding, not padding, a little more material back here to kind of give you a longer trigger pull, give you a little more to grab a hold of, as we say. They're also relieved for speed loader use. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. And they have a couple of different color options. Let's just look at it right now. How about that? So I've got a standard speed loader here. And And you notice, by the way, this is a hammerless model, so it has an internal hammer, so there's nothing to snag or whatever when you're carrying this concealed or as a backup. That's very, very smooth, not non-snaggy. And just for a comparison, I've got one of the stainless finish J-frames, this stock one. So it has the stock, just a little groove for a sight back here, and just a little ramp sight. I put some white out on it just to make it slightly visible. And these are what they call boot cut grips, so you can see the difference in size on the grips here. And no high back. This one has a high back here. And one thing you can see very different also as well while we're looking at differences, you see these have the little pins. These have titanium pins in them. These are actually built-in pins, internal pins. The titanium is part of their endurance package, so it gives you a little better pins in here. And then it has what they call an enhanced trigger. I'm not sure what that means. It's double action only. Again, both these are absolutely empty, okay? I can't tell much difference. This is the stock one. Let's see that. Maybe you can see it better from this side. This one is the enhanced trigger, and it doesn't feel that different to me, but science, right? We're all about the science here. So I thought we'd try with the old Wheeler trigger pull tester, and we'll start with this one, with the standard one. Let's see what we got. So that was 10 pounds peak. Try again. 11 pounds peak. So let's try the enhanced trigger, see if it's different. I don't know that it will be, really, to be honest with you. All right, that was 10 pounds, 6.7 ounces. Let's try again. 10 pounds, 10 ounces. Let's try again. That was about 8 pounds. So maybe a little lower, it's hard to say. But I will say this, the trigger on this one is, can you see it? It's got a little bit of a break right there before. So you can kind of stage it if you want to. This is the stock one. This is the UC. It seems to be easier to pull in double action, but really, honestly, I can't tell much difference between the two, to be honest with you. A couple things are a little bit different. They say this one has a chamfered charge holes, which is here. I'm going to try to zoom in on this and see if you can tell. It does, just to compare them. So there they are, and I can see a slight chamfer on this, not much. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully, I'm trying to move it around a little bit where you can see. It's really hard to catch it on camera, but it definitely has a very, very, very slight chamfer. Not much. This one is more of a hard, defined edge for sure. So I can tell the difference on that one. And then it says this one has beveled cylinder fronts, and honestly, man, I can't tell much of a difference. This one looks like it does to me too. If you can see the cylinder fronts on those. They both kind of have beveled cylinder fronts, so not sure if that's much of a difference there. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, so to speak. J-frames are notoriously hard to shoot. I mean, they're small. They have, even the stock, they have small grips on them, and so you're shooting a 38 caliber round, which is reasonably high powered, from a 1 7/8 inch barrel. So not a really comfortable pistol to shoot. One other thing I just noticed and forgot to tell you, this one has a shrouded ejector and this one does not. So that being said, as I said, these things are notoriously difficult to shoot. And what I found with this one, with these really nice grips on it, is, man, it absolutely beat the heck out of my hand right there. I mean, it's been I don't know, it's been about a week since my first shot, and I'm still sore there. Now, maybe I'm a big old sissy, but these things have no give in them. They're supposed to spread they say they spread the recoil out. I don't know. All I know is it felt like somebody hit my hand with a hammer right here. So I had to do something about that. So first thing I did, I took these grips off because they didn't seem to be as painful, and I put them on here. And again, it's like 3 days later, and I shot this one with these grips on it, and it's still, man, this right here, this part right here was banging into my hand. It hurt, like hurt. I'm not exaggerating. Can I mention that? Yeah, it hurt. So, like it was really, really miserable to shoot. So I decided I got to do something. So I went and bought some other grips. I got on the old internet and I bought these Pachmayr Diamond Pro grips. I'm going to show you those, and there they are. So they also have a high back, but they're rubbery. I'm going to pause the camera, swap these back out, because this is what I've been carrying with these on here, and then I'll take you to the range and we'll show you the kind of the range footage and how well or not well this thing does. Okay, so let's get to the range now. And by the way, if you're in the West Georgia area looking for somewhere to shoot, I highly recommend Freedom Shooting Center in Douglasville, Georgia. There are a bunch of great folks there, and they have a great facility. But as I said, the first time I shot this pistol, I had the VZ grips on it, really, really good-looking VZ grips, and it beat my hand up really badly. So what you're about to see, this footage is 3 days later. My hand was still really sore, but what I did, I took these grips off of this pistol and put them on here to try them, and the first cylinder full was two-handed grip. And not too bad, as you can see. I mean, a nice, decent group, high chest. I wasn't too unhappy with that, but man, it really beat my hand up. And that, by the way, was just with these 38 Special, 158 grain Monarch bullets. They don't even have they don't tell you on here what the feet per second or energy is or anything. Just you know, range ammo. So I changed to these Pachmayr grips. See the difference there? They've got a lot more cushioning back here. It's even got a little sponginess to it, little give to it. So I thought they got to be better. So again, same Monarch 158 grain, 38 Special, not plus P or anything. And I decided this time I'm going to do go for the head, one-handed. And not super great, a little bit high, not too great, but again, I'm kind of getting used to this pistol. So I changed the next time to this 125 grain Winchester Defense jacket hollow point and 38 plus P, and it says the velocity on these is 945 feet per second. And this one I decided I'm just going to do this one from the hip, because, you know, go Dick Tracy kind of. And I had one flyer up on the high right shoulder, as you can see, and then a pretty decent 4-round group, a lot lower centers. I'm not too unhappy with that. So then I changed targets to this target, and I went to 3 yards, 9 feet. I think it was at 10 feet the first time. And this is all with the Winchester Defense. From the hip. First shot, got him in the jaw, gave him a little tooth extraction there. And then the other shots, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see how fast they were. Then, so okay, let's try to go slow then to see how accurate I can be with this thing. By the way, these grips feel a lot better. Like, my hand was already sore, and I was really dreading another round with these grips even. And I was able to put another 24 rounds with these, and my hand was able to survive it, and without me crying and whining like a little baby. So that was not bad. And so anyway, decided I'll do a two-hand slow fire head group. And man, I'm not too unhappy with that at all. I think that was a really good group. 3 yards, 9 feet. That's about a 2-inch group. Okay, so for me at least, this has proven itself to be a capable self-defense option for a backup pistol especially. And so what about carrying it, how to carry it. Well, as I said, this video was inspired by the pocket pistol video I made a little while back. So for me, certainly carrying it in your pocket is a viable option. So personally, I'm comfortable carrying this with no holster. It's a 10-pound trigger. I don't put anything else in my pocket. So the only possible danger of this thing going off is if I hit it with my finger when I'm drawing it. And to be fair, if I'm drawing it from a holster, I have the same potential risk. So I'm not really too concerned safety-wise about carrying this in a pocket, whether a pants pocket or a coat pocket or anything, as long as there's nothing else in there to interfere with this trigger. But I do like using a pocket holster for a couple of reasons. First of all, because it does cover that trigger up, just to be a little safer. It also maintains it in a certain orientation in your pocket so it doesn't get wedged in and crooked, make it hard to draw. And also it kind of breaks up maybe the outline so it doesn't look so much like you got a pistol in your pocket, so to speak. So that being said, I chose the Galco pocket protector, the same style holster as I was using, pocket holster as I was using with the 22 Magnum, because it's got a pretty stiff opening here that doesn't collapse under pressure, but it's got enough of a friction on it to stay in your pocket. So this does stay in my pocket very well, and I'll just show you real quickly how it draws out really well. So, and I will say though that some pants that I have, this thing, because this larger grip on it, it wants to stick out a little bit. It depends on the pockets. These pockets are especially deep. I've got some other pants by the same brand, same make, everything. These are Origin jeans, made in the USA, and the pockets, for whatever reason, are not quite as deep. So go figure. I guess they don't have the exact specs now. But so that's one option, is pocket carry, and I think this Galco pocket protector is a good option for that. Now, that's in a pants pocket. If you're in a coat pocket, that might be in the way. Your mileage may vary. This is really designed to where you can catch this and pull it out. But I found when it tried to do that, it snags. It really doesn't want to come out. It only comes out this way. So I just pull it straight out. But there's another option, and my friend John at Hog Holsters actually suggested this to me, because he does make a holster for this J-frame, and this is the right-hand holster. Inside the waistband, you can carry it cross draw here, you can carry it here, you can carry it wherever you want to carry it, clip it anywhere. But he said, you know what? I also make a left-hand holster, because not just for left-handed, but a lot of people like to carry this on their left side. So if your right hand is damaged, busy, or whatever, fighting somebody off, you can draw with your left hand and still be able to use it. Thought that was a pretty good idea. He sent me both of them because he's such a nice guy. So that's another good option for you. And to be fair, even if it's in the left-hand holster, you can still get it with your right hand. You might have to do a little fancy Josie Wales gun handling to get it oriented properly, but you can get it if you needed to. But I thought that was a good idea. I've actually been carrying it that way sometimes as a backup, just that way. If this hand is busy, I can draw it, or maybe I want to go John Wick and have two. So anyway, so that's some holster options. Just to wrap this thing up, pros and cons. Am I glad I got this or not glad? Yeah. Yes, I'm glad. Obviously, for me, the pros of this thing, the number one pro, it's a tried and true design. For 75 years, I've been making the J-frame, and now with the addition of excess sights, it finally meets my standard for a concealed carry pistol that I'm going to trust my life to. And literally, the sights between this one and this one are night and day. This is just a little groove, standard groove with a little stainless. This one's stainless, so it's got a notched ramp, but I had to put some white out on it just so I could see it. I don't have to put anything on this one to see it. It just jumps out at you. Just a really well designed sight setup. Again, my only thing with it was, and this is J-frame thing, it beat my hand up really badly with the VZ grips on it. Even more so than these grips here. And I think that's because I wasn't pressed up against them as much. But either way, it could be just my hand. Look, maybe I'm just a sissy. Maybe it's the structure, the way my hand is shaped or boned, whatever. But these Pachmayr Pro Diamond Pro grips, and I think they have diamond grips too. The Pro just has finger grooves here. They're way more comfortable. Chuck Norris can make an onion cry. I guess the only other thing I will say about this is I kind of, sort of, almost, maybe, kind of wish that I had bought the 32 H&R Magnum version instead of the 38 Special, because it'd give you one more round, and it potentially has less recoil and won't beat your hand up as bad. But I already had the 38 Special. I've already got a 357 that shoots 38. I just didn't want to I try to minimize the ammo selection I have available. I have to buy a bunch of different ammo, and 38 ammo is arguably way more readily available in most places than 32 H&R Magnum. That being said, though, it might have been worth it because it's pretty rough on the old hand. But thanks to Pachmayr, these grips are actually made a tremendous difference. So if you got sensitive hands like I do, or maybe it's just my hand structure, that might be a good thing to think about. So anyway, that's it. I'll shut up now. That's the Smith & Wesson. This is the 442 Ultimate Carry, and just I think it's a really good option for a backup / pocket pistol. So I hope this video has been helpful, informative, and maybe even slightly entertaining. I really sincerely appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.